Hello, hello. Hope everyone's doing well. Nice to see you, T. James, let me see. Miss Southern Belle is here, and I think that's everyone I've seen so far. Let's see. No, well, unless you can figure out how the internet food transfer system works, because I think, I don't know, like every single stream I've done always seems to turn into talking about snacks. So, I feel like if there's a way to do that, like somebody would have worked it out soon, or hopefully will. But I don't know. How's everybody else doing? I know T is doing pretty good. I caught one of her lives. She's usually live around 2 my time, aka Central. So I saw, and she did a pretty cool craft roulette card. Somebody else I saw. Oh, I think I caught Elizabeth streaming. Hey Kim, how are you? And I was actually, this kind of comes into part of why we're doing the live tonight. But well, other than we do lives every Sunday night, but this one I thought we would do a little bit of a redo with the card kit comparison thing that we did a few weeks ago, because I got another card kit in the mail, and then I was chatting with one of my friends who doesn't card craft but was interested in it. So now I probably actually just gonna make her a card kit because I have so much stuff and I have a lot of card kit sketches. So I mean, getting something together I think would be pretty straightforward. I actually made a card with a pocket in it today, Belle. So you would have liked that one. I think I probably hit. I don't think it's on my Instagram yet, but it will be soon. Hey, Grateful. Good to see you as well. And good to see you, Kim. Hopefully you are well. You'll actually like today because it's more about Christmas and not about Halloween. So that's always a little bit fun. But I don't know. Like I'm kind of hyped for Christmas, but also kind of not hyped for Christmas. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like I did so much Christmas in July crafting that now I want to get back into it because I do have a craft fair on like the 2nd of December, something like that. So like November, I have a whole bunch of projects to do. But let see that lots of people have come in. So let us jump down to my desk. And now I'm tiny. Now I'm a little less tiny. That's better. So this is the kit we played with last time. Well, not really, but we did a little bit of an unboxing just to sort of compare sort of where Spellbinders went with their sort of whatever this is retailing for now. I want to say it's more than 25. It's like 27 or 28. I don't know. Their quick and easy card kit we had looked at before. I'll just quickly recap some of it just before we get into the new comparison point because this came in the mail and I thought I was going to have to wait until Stampin' Up has like a subscription kit that my friend wanted to do a live with me on. So I thought I'd have to wait for that. But actually, I got this one sooner, and my cat may or may not make an appearance. He's kind of wandering about. But I know a lot of you saw this one, so I will probably let me recap this one really, really do like the speed run on recapping this one. And there's the cat. Actually, you saw his shadow. Hopefully he won't knock things out. But one never knows. He has his moments. We probably don't need to care about the little. There are other bits and pieces. No, there's just some cards. Well, what are you? Oh, there's more paper and more ephemera. And their sequence. Okay. So the rundown on this kit is basically it's designed to make at least 8 cards, and they give you a bunch of pieces that are sort of variations on a theme. I want to say this one is Hello Fall or something like that. Is it labeled? No, because labeling is hard. Anyway, so basically you get a bunch of die cuts, you get a bunch of little sort of dimensional stickers, which I actually really like. I mean, these are chipboard ones, which are cool, but they make sort of puffy stickers that are more foam and less air filled. So they hold up really well. I really thought like the leaves and the butterflies and stuff here were pretty cool. Not that we have to rehash this entire kit, but I guess the takeaway is they don't really give you much in the way. And I want to see if it's still in here. I do not see it. I must have lost it in my desk somewhere, but they give you some inspirations, but they don't really give you instructions. And this is sort of the color palette, a lot of this is very fall. You know, my favorite ginger colored everything. And my cat is sitting like immediately to the right of my desk just because he wanted to hang out. And you do get some cardstock as well, but essentially this is, I'll say, good if you like to make up your own cards from scratch. But I have a bunch of my channels on sort of like side by side videos. So, between some of these card kits. So if you want more of a deep dive, they're there, but that's sort of the speed run. But before we looked at a tag kit, and it was pretty cool. But the tag kit didn't really was a far different price point than that kit that I just ran through. So I thought we would look at one that was a lot closer. This is basically a $25 price point, and we will try to dump me and my cat because you know he's here, he's hanging out. But I always like to not unwrap these just so that it's clear that it is actually my first time opinion and not just like speed running. Let's see, other people are here. Hello, Andy. How are you? Nice to see you. Lynn is here. And Annie is here. I don't think so. All the stuff is mostly Christmas, and I may play around with some more of those tags. I don't know. We'll see. Um, I should probably devote a couple of these to Halloween because we've been making some pretty cool Halloween cards on other streams. I know with Lynn I made a bunch, so that's pretty cool. And so yeah, I mean that's all. I think so. I don't know. If you guys are interested in seeing Halloween cards, I am a big fan of Halloween, and this is confusing me. Oh, it helps. See, it helps if you turn the box around the right way. And what do we have in here? We have the main difference is here, which is you get a really mini stamp set, which you probably can't see. Let's just grab some white something. And turn it around. There we go. So basically the guts of this thing is you get a bunch of trees. And if you watched any of my last year's stuff, I'm a big fan of these trees because I think this is intelligent to do the star as its own thing. That does make stamping this a little bit more of a pain, but basically you have your trees and then you have your usual sort of Christmas sentiments, and that's basically what this kit is. So that is, I will break into this to show you the other stuff, but basically the $10 in difference between this and the other kit we looked at is a small stamp set and a mini ink cube that I'm sure is called something else, and it is in some color that I probably can read if I look at it. It is in Lost Lagoon, which is basically teal, I believe. And it's kind of interesting. It's very well protected as a stamp pad. So I will see if we can't break into that in a minute. I believe the color is sort of like this, which kind of makes sense. It's sort of not quite Christmas green, so it depends how you feel about that. Hey, Brian, I'm playing with another Stampin' Up kit. You probably are the expert in these. What color is Lost Lagoon? It looks to me to be sort of a tealish color, but much more in sort of a, I don't know, fir tree kind of vibe. Like how spruce trees are kind of, I don't know. I don't know if they have spruce trees in the South, but you know how spruce trees are kind of that blue green. It reminds me of that. And let me see what I'm missing. There are lots of people saying hello. It is called a Stampin' Spot, which is an ink cube by a different name. But I guess it's worth saying, just because some of us are newer to this, like these small ink pads are just as functional as the big ones, right? So, like, the only difference to this size ink pad, this size ink pad, and this size ink pad is surface area and how much ink you get by default, but they're all gonna run out of ink, so you're gonna wind up, re-inking them every so often. Probably have one of those right here. Do I have a re-inker? Oh, here I have a whole bag of them because why not? But basically, when your ink pad runs dry, you're gonna get a little itty bitty bottle of stuff that will seem to be expensive. This is actually the ink solution that is on the ink pad. So basically, this isn't a color I have out, but you basically just drip this on, and that will refresh the ink pad. And the only time you actually have to replace your ink pads are if they start falling apart, basically. So just FYI, a lot of companies, Stampin' Up, Catherine Pooler, Gina K, amongst others, like if you want to try their ink pad lines, often you can get sort of a collection of these mini ones, and then you can kind of wind up spending less money up front so that you're not quite as like committed. And we're all saying hi to each other. That is fabulous. Yeah, that's Brian. He goes by B&D Crafts sometimes, and he goes by Brian Dickey other times, depending on the platform. Let's see. Oh, yes. I guess that is a good thing to mention to newer card crafters. Buying this stuff is slightly addictive because once you have some of it, you're going to want to try others of it, and you're going to say, "How do those things work together?" That would be interesting. So anyway, I have not busted into this kit yet, but my assumption, because I've seen a couple Stampin' Up kits, is we will have very detailed instructions on how to make these specific things that Jay will probably ignore because that's kind of the thing I do. So yeah, this sort of gives you the vibe. And the thing is, these are very much almost the same card, just with different trees and paper pieces. So the neat thing about a kit like this to me is like, well, you can just take these and do other things with them, which we might do. We'll see. I generally try to be nice and at least try to do things as anticipated, but much like the other kits, that we looked at, it gives you very Lego-like instructions, like put this here, put that there, all that kind of good stuff. Of course, if you have more ink colors, you can vary this a lot. So the way that kit's going to vary it, since we have one, is we are probably going to have more pieces. Now, don't throw these are great for mailing, so I never throw these out. Also, if I wind up with too many of them, I often use them to just ink blend on to keep my surface clean. So, yeah, paper crafter problem. You never throw anything out. So let's see what we get. We get envelopes. And often I've noticed these kits tend to have fancier envelopes, which means if you like this pattern, we can actually dissect these. See, like this pattern is all over this envelope. So if you slit the sides, you can actually take this pattern out if you decide you like it. Which is a thing I would do because I don't know. I don't know that people necessarily notice the fancy envelopes. But these are very nice. These are all identical, so they have, and they're pre-folded, so these are just ready to go. I don't know what size these are, so I'll guess it's an A2, but we'll see. I'll probably be wrong because sometimes that happens. So these are probably A2 envelopes. It's a little bit more than 5. Yeah, these are A2 envelopes, so they're a little more than 5.5 by 4.25. But I will set those aside and see what else we got. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I don't know. I would say since I'm kind of Catherine Pooler obsessed, the Catherine Pooler ink pads are foam, as you can see. So what happens is the ink actually kind of wicks to the surface. And I'm not going to touch this because I just re-inked that one. Um, Other ink pads, like, if I have an open one, I think this has an open one. So these distressed oxide ink pads are felt, so you can see that they have more of a obvious sort of felt layer. Whoop, there we go. And neither is better than the other. It just depends what you personally like. I would say you tend to sort of, I don't know. At least I tend to sort as a crafter, like I tend to find a line I like and just stick with it. Let's see. Let's see who else. Oh, Leslie, welcome. How are you? See, I mean, I don't know, Leslie. I'll say like, given my vibe, I'm always torn because I like the I'll say I like the idea of having a whole pack of ephemera to just make whatever, but a lot of people have really said that like if you just sit down and do one of these kits all the way through, it's like a very satisfying feeling. I mean, like finishing a coloring book or finishing a diamond painting or whatever. Like, I mean, but let's see what we got. We got more of the little itty bitty foam hexes, which are also called something. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are Stampin' Dimensionals. Anyway, um, similar idea to the bigger than my head roll of foam tape I've been using lately, except these are sort of pre-cut, and they are. I actually like these. Like the release paper actually releases, which is nice because a lot of these, like getting the release paper off and then gluing yourself to the thing is a struggle. Oh, thanks. I have the one that's so I have like 3 that I use. I don't know. I like the one that the mountain one I think is a little less in your face, like, I feel like it blends in, which I like. It is, Lynn. Like I like this idea of so I find the tree stamps particularly are really ones that I get a lot of mileage out of because hey, it's Wisconsin and like the winter goes until like April or May. So I like these because like they're not just Christmas, right? That you have this whole winter season to deal with. So I think tree stamps, at least for me personally, are a big value. Other people feel that way about florals and other things, but I guess we should get into what actually we get. So we get card bases, which we didn't see in our other kit. Um, I do like the way these are constructed. They're a fairly lightweight card base, I would say. They're a little lighter than the spellbinders, if that's the thing that matters to you. That can also be quite friendly from like a mailing standpoint because you don't have to like worry about it. Although, um, if you are someone who makes cards and runs afoul of the post office, uh, you can find one of these on Amazon. These are, I think they're actually designed as like tea scales. So you could do this and like weigh out your loose leaf tea if you're like that anal. But they work great for postage too. So I find my local post office is pretty generous when you're mailing a thing that is clearly a letter or a card, and they're a little less generous if it looks like you're trying to put a bunch of stuff in an envelope. So I don't know. I tend to like mailing letters, and then I don't know. I like the flat rate postage a lot. Not, I don't know how this. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, I can make you a Goonies card. I think I have lots of pirate ship stuff too. I can make you a pirate card too if you want. Um, but I believe I saw somebody. I mean, I'm sure who is it? Kindred Stamps, I think, does all the slightly unofficial, not quite knockoffs of things. But I think I want to say there's a Goonie stamp set. I'm sure if there isn't, that you could. I'm sure someone has made one somewhere. Um, plus all the I'll have to look on, some of the digital sites too, because I'm sure there's something. Yeah, James crafts. He crafts with his niece often. Well, I guess I shouldn't say often, occasionally. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, so here's the thing, and this isn't just a James thing, but this is a newbie thing and a me thing. It's like no one's more critical of your stuff than you. So, like, you're gonna give if you give handmade crafts to people, they're going to absolutely love them, and they are not going to see the 700 flaws you see. Yeah. Actually, you might like T's channel a lot just because, like, she does a lot of really interesting, like, she does some really cool, like, vintage grunge stuff that is totally outside of my wheelhouse, but I always love watching it. But I guess I should get to the point. Anyway, more card bit. So you get some card bases, and we get some little pieces, and I think these are basically the panels that go on the front. Right, so these are sort of like your background trees. So this is a little different than the tags in that everything was a punch out. These are basically like if you're going for a lower effort, right? All I really have to do is fold my card base in half and mount this guy, and there's probably going to be labels to come. But you could do a fairly easy stamping if you so desire, or not stamp at all. Really, I mean, so we have a bunch of these, and they're all identical. So that's kind of what gives you this sort of theme and variations vibe of this kit is that they are, and then those are our pieces. So we have 3 red. So we're gonna make 9 cards because we have 3 red, 3. I don't know, not quite spruce, but we'll call it spruce. 3 dark green and 3 light green. So that's that. And oh my god, I love this. Okay, this is funny, but so these are the trees that you could punch out and use as elements, and these are very blingy. They look to be glitter that's coated, so it's not like loose glitter. It's more like glitter gel or something. So they're not gonna. They don't. It doesn't seem like it's gonna shed. So that's nice. 3 sheets of that. Now I watched somebody else's video, so I know what these are, which are alternatives if you are in a climate where there are not Christmas trees. So what you could do is basically intermix these trees with the cacti and palm trees. Or, you could flip it over and just do cacti and palm trees. Actually, I kind of like the idea of doing like maybe 3 cacti. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we will be non-traditional because I can't follow instructions. But then you have then you have 3 extras here. I already can't. Oh, there he is. He's not destroying anything. So basically you have 1 extra and then 3, and these are all the same in that as you can see, they're gonna punch out to be sort of, I don't know what you call these, reverse fishtails, essentially, like the reverse of like a fishtail banner. But that's all the stuff you get. So I think the real determination, I feel like the tag kits also have card variants of them. I think we'll put one of these together just because they're new and fun, and I kind of want to make one now. But like if I pull back out this tag kit, just to sort of remind you guys, there's a front on here that I swear there's a front that tells you how pretty it all is together. Okay, here we go. So, like they make card kit versions of this, and these retail more in like the $15 price range. So, like if you're more of a just stick it together person, these are a great option. And there's a cat. And he once again has come through and not gotten in the view of the camera. So kudos to him. Let me see who I am missing. Yeah, exactly. Oh, goodness, sir. Ugh. Would you like to say hello? Hello. This is my cat. His name is Lennox. He's very sweet. He is interested in whatever we're doing. So, there we go. Yeah. Yes, it's the mountains and a cattail. Because why not? Whoop. Okay. Alrighty. And he's away. Anywho, before our cat distractions, yeah, they are like glossy accents. They're much more like stickles still remain very rough when they're done. These were much more like almost epoxy like in consistency. Anyway, let me see who I am missing. I don't know, like, a lot of people do knitting. I have never done knitting. I did needlepoint with my grandmother when she was still alive. Um, but I don't know, there are a lot of people who are, like, really into knitting, so there's always that. Tie-dye is fun. I mean, I'm wearing tie-dye, so, like, you're probably not surprised that I like tie-dye, but, um or, like, ice tie-dyeing is pretty neat too. I don't know. I like tie-dyeing, but I'm not good at it. Let's see. Yeah, well, I mean, I think everybody likes tie-dye. Uh, I'll assume you mean foraging for the purposes of YouTube. I've actually I've actually seen people with like like hand tie-dyed underwear, which has nothing to do with anything, but like I mean, it's a product on Etsy. You can buy it, like if you so desire. Yeah, he is a tuxie. He's interestingly, wow, I'm like really not on topic today, but so like he's actually a tabby in that he has very faint like seal points, like in the right light. So he does have little stripes on his tail, but he's basically a tuxie. He's a gray tuxie. And he was a bottle fed rescue cat. So like he doesn't really understand catting sometimes. So like he thinks I'm his mom. So he's the most likely cat that you're gonna see on my desk because he just gets interested in whatever I'm doing. Yeah, mine too, Elizabeth. Hopefully you're well. Hello. I always like seeing your unicorn hair here. And everybody's commenting today. I love it. Yes, Lennox. Hello. Brian says hi. He wandered off to he's lying in front of his food dish and looking dramatic because he eats it like his dinner is at like 7, so he's just being a little dramatic because that's what cats do. Yeah. This stream, it's a pro dog stream because we have cats occasionally. That was who was it? Somebody else said that they were watching they had to shut off a stream because like there were cats carrying on and it was driving their dog nuts. But anyway, so let's make a card because hey, I managed to like I don't know ramble for half an hour. So I think it would be interesting. I'm curious what tags I have left. It would be interesting, I think, to see if we could do like a. I forget what thing is supposed to be on these gold tags, but I feel like a gold tag with a cactus would be kind of fun. And I should probably figure out what that tag is supposed to be for before I destroy it. And gold tag, gold tag. Gold goes with the pink, which I'm not loving for this, but I don't know. Let's try this. Okay. Since we're already a little bit off the rails. We can just continue with that general theme. I think what this is supposed to go, there's a secondary tag usually, although we can always just make one too, if we so desire. Um, 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 um. I'd like something green or red. There is a red tag. Well, we'll just use one of these red tags. It's for something else, but hey. Let's see, because this kind of matches the card base, so I think this might work. We'll see. Ooh, like you could actually do these back to back. Not quite. No, but now I like this because you'd have a really thin red border. I'm kind of digging this vibe, and then put a cactus on it and figure out what sentiment we want. What sentiment would you pick if you were a cactus? I have no idea. But yeah. Let's see what comments you're missing as wow, everyone's saying hello. Oh, see, I've heard from people that like crochet is like super relaxing. Like you can just sort of like do it and be chill. I've heard that about knitting too. But I don't know. Like I think people who craft say that that's easy or relaxing and may or may not be, for everybody. I think a Christmas cactus would be very cute. Well, and see, you make a good point, which is like you don't need to be bound by what exactly you're supposed to do. And I think I'm gonna break my rule, and I think I will leave these two tags separate because I kind of like this as a separate angle. But I have some twine somewhere that I can use to make them together. I have blue twine. Yeah, I have blue and white twine. I think that would look nice with that. But we will punch out a cactus and sort of see how we like this. Like the white is nice because you don't notice that there's white around the cactus. And we have a bunch of sentiments. So I think Christmas is a good option. Merry. I do like Merry. Oh, I like Be Merry. I think that would be fun with the like cactus. And he says hello again. So I think we just need to get this main tag done, and then I will see if I can remember where I put my twine. Oh, there it is. Maybe we can find the end of the twine. I very much need to rewrap this twine because it is not. I have an end. There is an end. I mean, there's always an end, but I found the end to this twine. And what do we want? Maybe like that much. There we go. Thought that would look cute. I always feel like Christmas colors kind of include blue, which I probably don't, but like I feel like snow is a very blue vibe. So anyway, not that there would be snow and there would be a cactus, but details. Details. This makes sense in my mind, I swear. Well, I did do some bat cards. I actually want to do more bat cards. Who was it? Elizabeth really inspired me because she did bats with the glow in the dark moon. I was thinking, like glow in the dark bats would be kind of dope too. But anyway, I guess before I glue this down, I like the cactus up, and I did like that when we did that with one of these other tags. It's like you have like this down below area where you can put these Be Merry. And I love that these are just stickers because these are like really easy to work with. Because it's like that easy. And then we just need to, well, maybe wait for our glue to dry before I start to handle it. But I think that's really cute. I like that. And I love the glitter, which I don't know if this is coming through, but There it is. You can kind of see it, but like it's really glittery, which I dig. It's always a bit of a crazy train whenever the cats are hungry. That's for sure. Oh yeah, you could do that. Like if you went in and sort of did a little, we could do a little ink blending. We could do a little blue around the edge. I kind of like that. That's a good idea. Or maybe whatever color this is, and we can try it out because I'm sure I have a detail blending brush somewhere. Maybe we would do that. That's a good idea. Thank you, James. That is a fantastic idea. Assuming I can find a brush. Hey, here's a brush. No, that's not a brush. That might be a brush. There's always something somewhere, you know? Oh, come on. Don't be. There we go. Both of these ends are clean. So no, I'm liking the idea of kind of coming in and doing a little like dabbing a little like sky there. Let's try that out. And I don't know what color this is. Well, I mean I do, but I have not seen it in real life. So we shall think playing with the ink is a good idea. And I think that should. Yeah, that should. Yeah. There we go. Liberate the ink a little bit. So maybe I should be at least semi-cautious and grab something. We can test it out on here to see how we feel about this color, which isn't exactly fair because it's sort of like craft color, but you know, we shall make do. So let me just pick up. It picks up. Yeah, because this is foam. I mean, you really have to sort of rub this a little bit more than you would with no, but like I'm liking that color. I think that'll be cool. And if it isn't, we will manage a little bit. Ooh, I kind of like that. And the nice thing is, since this is metal or metallic or whatever you want to call it, um, the ink is not going to get on any of that. Pick up a little more and just sort of boom. I picked up a little more, and I tend to like, you can go back to wherever you have ink before and just sort of blend it down. And then that's kind of neat because it sort of makes the focus the cactus. And I like the color. It's sort of like one of those not quite Christmas colors that works really well. I kind of dig it. I do like that. It looks much more deserty, I guess. Like you think of like dark skies at night. What are we doing? We are just even this off, and that I just folded this in half basically so I can get a loop. So I can get that through both tags, and I'll just come back and basically I have a loop here, so I'm just gonna pull these through, and that's going to give me a tag. And it gives you this cute little like the loop actually sits at the top, so it gives you kind of a nice look. Um, I have been liking gluing these down, but also you could certainly use this as an element on a flat card just by doing this and gluing them. And then where did I had a card? I swear I had a card base somewhere. Anyway, let's try this again. So you then like with it, if you had like a card base, you could that wasn't red, like you could glue it on this way, and you know we already made a card like that. But I do like the sky. I gotta say, I'm a fan, and I'm a fan of mixing and matching. But this is cool. This would be. This definitely is. I have never actually like I have friends in Texas, and I have a bunch of coworkers in the South as well. So, or I should say, in the Southwest. I've never heard of anyone decorating a cactus, but we shall see. No, I agree. I mean, I always think of Christmas as having sort of like rich colors, I guess, like more of the jewel tones, but I agree it can be anything. So that's a good question because I ripped the instructions off. Let's see what this is called. It is called we're comparing the Christmas Everywhere kit to the Spellbinders kit, but then we kind of went on a detour and said, let's make our. So the Christmas Everywhere kit came with these cactus and palm tree alternate foliage if you're not really a winter tree person, which I think is hilarious. I actually have like Christmas flamingos, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something with that. But anyway, so then we decided to make a tag again because I've been kind of into tags lately. But I will probably see if we can't do the like kit as intentioned before Brian gets annoyed with me. And let's see if Brian is annoyed at me. Yeah, it is. You're correct, Brian. Let's see. He is, yeah. So if you're interested in picking up Stampin' Up stuff, Brian is a demonstrator, and you just have to look for Brian Dickey when you're checking out blah blah blah. If you've shopped with them before, you probably know that, but it's always fun. I thought they sold a set of them too. I feel like there's a bundle that's like common colors or standard colors or something. Like I saw that there was like I forget how much it, and I'm using my phone to stream, so I'll have to look that up. But there is a bundle of them, I think. And if not, they should. Like it would be really cool if they did like Stampin' Spots in their normal colorways, just because like then you don't have to like buy everything. Anyway, maybe I will be quiet and we will try making one of the other cards more according to the kit. And luckily I did pull a stamp block, or we can just cheat and use my stamp positioning tool. I think we're gonna cheat because it's Sunday and it's been a week. But let us put our pin in our glue. Grab one of these. We also are the red goes with the blue. Not really blue, but whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah. There we go. That's better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Calm down. There we go. Let's just pull up a little bit. And you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, you might see cat too. Anyway, so that's kind of a nice color combo. Anyway, I'm saying anyway far too much today. So let's clear some of this out of the way and figure out what other bits we might need. I'm just going to two big trees and a little tree. So we have one of these guys. And then we have the two floofier trees, which are these and the littler of the true Christmas tree. And we can pop these up. We'll just now the instructions suggest stamping on this. I'm Let me get that out of the way. So suggest stamping on this and then layering over these trees. Do I feel like that's necessary? No, but we can do it anyway. Let's see what trees they suggest using. I guess it depends how much of a forest you want. Yeah, so they suggest using this stamp twice, and we can do that. I think I even pulled a stamp block because the kit did not come with one, which is weird because I thought they did. But anyway, I feel like one of the kids' kits I had came with like a stamp block that was like the same size as the stamp spot. So maybe it's because these trees are a little bit bigger, but hey, we have blocks. We'll travel. So if you're not familiar with these photopolymer stamps, they have sort of a flat side and then the side with the ridges. So I am going to try and position this mostly in the middle and do it wrong. But most stamp blocks, including this one, which I think is actually a Simon Hurley one, have these grid lines. Wow, sorry about that. So you can, in theory, line these up. Also, since this is a new stamp, I will grab a wipe quick and just wipe it off. Typically, there are, as some of you know, like manufacturing oils that are on here. So what I also want to do is grab some junk paper if I see any. Or if not, we can just screw around with this some more. I think we'll screw around with this some more. Anyway, since we're stamping directly on something we don't want to ruin, I will probably just rub this a little bit and see how this goes. And we have other ink too if we do not have a fabulous time. So as you can see now, this is inked up. We'll just press it. That looks pretty freaking great. So I think we're good to go. Sometimes it might not. And if it doesn't, you just have to re-ink it and play with it a bit. It's not super, this is not super fussy. And as you can see, like, this is not really a Christmas tree exactly. Although I guess I should pay attention to the instructions that I just threw somewhere. I'm not great with instructions. I'm more of a wing it and see until it looks good. But since we're at least attempting to behave today. So basically you want them interspersed and then offset and down. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll see if I missed anything you guys were saying. Yeah, I think so. I think it's because this was a standalone kit and they sort of assume if you're buying a standalone kit, you already have one. Well, we'll work on that. What else? Who else did I? Hello, Alyssa. How are you? Question for you, Brian, just because I'm kind of curious, because I don't know much about Stampin' Up. Like, I am. Is this one of your kitties? I don't think I would throw a slice of American cheese anywhere near my cats because they're both like very cheese obsessed and would probably jump all over it and would be having a very excited time about that. Anyway, okay, so I'll get to stamping, but like my actual question is like, are the ergonomic stamp blocks that much different? I believe like most of the ones I've seen thus far are more like the one I'm using now, where they're relatively thin, and I think the ergonomic ones are thicker and have like a grippy bit. That's a technical term. Um, that's a little wonky, but it's fine. That is sort of the nice thing about this particular card design is like you're kind of covering up your stamping anyway to a certain degree. Um, But every time I use felt ink pads, it's like I always forget they're not quite as juicy as um, the uh, the foam ones, where you basically don't have to do much. But there we go. That came out pretty good. I do like, you can see that sort of, because this is a new stamp. You can, like, if you're looking at it in great detail, you can actually notice that um, it's a little splotchy, and that's because of the oils on the surface of the stamp. After the stamp is used a bit, it stops doing that. So just FYI, if that ever happens to you, it's not that you did it wrong. It's just that new stamps are new stamps. So what we basically want to do is mount this, and I will grab. Yeah, and this is dry already. The nice thing about these dye inks is they dry super fast. My other cat is like sitting on top of the love seat that's on the other side of the room and is like staring at me. So, you know, kitties everywhere, pawing at things, investigating, if you will. I didn't read the. My assumption is that they suggest using the pop-up dots for this. I may use the pop-up dots later, but I'm just gonna mount this. What did you do? I don't know. Well, I don't see anything destroyed, so we're still pretty good. So I'm just using some double stick tape in my, whatever they call these things, my ATG taped thingy maboober. That's a technical term. So I think these will. I think I'll leave. I mean, I think I like kind of the idea of like a background forest here. So you have a forest, a forest. Yeah, that's what they sort of want you to do. So I don't know. I like that. You could sort of. I guess you should. The idea is to sort of have a forest involving the stamps and this and that, and I like that. Maybe I'll glue this one down and then pop these two up on the adhesive. I kind of like that as an idea because I feel like these trees look kind of like they're in the background. Let us see what I'm missing. Yeah. Well, see, I started with a stamping platform because I think they're just easier, and for a lot of reasons. But I'm also not the most like stamp it perfectly every time kind of person. So let's say, I guess we kind of want this one in the middle because it's all blinged up and with nowhere to go. And I think these ones will work really well on foam tape or dimensionals, whatever. Unless I have, oh, here we go. These are actually from the other kit. You can mix and match kits. Who knew? So I'm just gonna put through. I think 3 of these on a tree will be just fine. And this is sort of what I mentioned before. Like this is a very waxy release paper, so it actually releases, which is nice. I forget what double-sided foam tape I was using with, and like it did not want to release, and it was a little bit of a struggle bus. So I think we'll just do that here, and ooh, I'm liking that. The lids are quite different. I am just catching up on what you guys are chatting about. Oh, yeah, sorry about that, T. I do that sometimes, especially the big comments will almost entirely block what I'm doing, and I don't know. I have moments of not realize it's like you I don't know. Then there's always the, like, you get too into crafting. Um, Although I was relieved I saw a stream this weekend that, you know, it that other people do that too, so I didn't feel quite as bad. I think you and Elizabeth are just, like, super duper pros at, like, paying attention to things. I don't really want this to be exactly I guess, uh, it's almost entirely covering this tree. I don't know that I love that. Um, Maybe we could just make these like a tree cluster. That looks a little I don't know, it looks a little wonky. It looks wonky to me to have this, like, covering the top of the tree. I think I'm gonna just put it down here, which makes this look a little imperfect, but, I mean, actual forests look that way too, so, you know. I think I will mix and match again, and because I know that my other kit has this cute little joy sentiment, if I remember where I put it. Probably something of a trial, but, you know. So many things. I do not see it there. I do not see it. It's probably in my pile. If not, we can stamp a sentiment, but let me see if I can figure out where I put that. Hi. Hello. My cat found the trash can, so there's that, I guess. Oh, here it is, right in front of my face. I'm always amazed how easy it is to lose things, like, on your desk in the middle of a live. That is still sort of my... There we go. And then this is just sort of getting mounted here. I don't really think I need to pop that up, so I'm just going to glue this guy down, I think. It's almost my name, but not quite. Anyway. And this would be a bad time to realize that you put your whole card together upside down, but I have done that occasionally. The cat. Well, so it's funny you mentioned that, James, because like, one of my friends has a cat who will actually, like, hide crafting things. Mine don't do that. They're usually more, like, interested in the whole food angle, but, you know. But yeah, I like how this came out. This is sort of as designed. I think if I worked on that stamp a little bit more, you'd get more of a completely, I don't know, if it's probably hard to tell, but then you'd have a little less of a, like, watercoloring effect here. But I mean, I don't know that, like, I don't think anyone you'd send it to would care one way or the other. So I think that was pretty cool. And this is the other thing we made, our little fun little cactus gift tag. It's funny, my mom has a friend in Texas who would probably really love that, um, when they send Christmas cards. So I don't know, I might do something with that. But those, I think, are the two things we made tonight. I managed to sort of ramble for the first half of this, but let me see. And the cat's paws are here, so I think that means that he is ready for dinner. So I will say, hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day, and thanks for coming. Any suggestions on things you want to see in the future, feel free to drop them in the comments, which I always read, and Lennox also reads sometimes, but only if he's had his snacks first. But yeah, so, oh, thank you for coming, Elizabeth. Thank everybody else for coming, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a successful week, whatever that means for you. And yes, we see the little toes. The toes means it is time for us to wander. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.